Hello again. As some of you might know, I was a klutz, fell off my bicycle and broke my arm. But we're going to be doing a little different video today than we normally do. I won't be traveling, that's a given, but we're going to do a get well video for Holly from Mischief Maker. She's a bad lassie from Scotland, and with her and her husband Walter, they do rock crawling, build rock crawlers, race off-road race vehicles, and do a lot of off-road adventures. Well, I guess in the last couple weeks, Holly went up to Oregon in the sand dunes, and on a jump had a freak accident, and on landing broke her back. So here she was 2,000 miles from home with a broken back. And I know my trip back from Missouri with my broken arm was about, I think it was 365 miles, and that was painful. But I can't imagine what a couple of plane rides for 8 hours from Oregon to Utah would be like. Of course, her pain meds might be better than what they gave me. You know, being an independent YouTuber, insurance is a big problem, and so I'm gonna put her GoFundMe link down below if you can afford it and don't mind. She's got 2 or 3 long ambulance rides, plus her medical on her back, and so she's going to have some big bills stacking up. I'm lucky enough to be on Medicare insurance and with a Part B, so I'm hoping that I'm not going to get gouged too bad. I'm a little worried about that 15-mile ambulance ride to Lebanon. They wanted to take me 45 miles someplace else, and I said, how am I going to get back to the campground? Nobody had an answer to that, so I talked them into going right there in Lebanon, Missouri, and going through the ER. They gave me a couple of pain pills and wished me luck and sent me on my way. Holly always said her 2 favorite things were turtles and old man stories, so I've got a couple of turtle stories, and I've got an old man story to share today, so let's get to that. Now, the first turtle story, that happened just north of the Valentine National Wildlife Refuge. Well, the lake's there, and I was headed back to Valentine by that time, and on the north side of the refuge, there's a blacktop road heading to Highway 83. I can't remember what the designation of that road is, but I popped over a hill about 60 miles an hour and saw a dot in the road, and then I realized it was moving, and so I lined the truck and trailer so I was going right over the top of it, and then I got on the binders and got stopped about a 1/8 mile down the road, and I walked on back, and here's I was worried that it was the Sandhills box turtle, but it turned out to be a more common painted turtle, but he deserves to live too, so don't usually like to touch him, but I picked him up and put him over off the edge of the road, and just as I was getting back of my truck, here comes a pickup with a horse trailer on the back, which probably would have been the demise of the turtle. So the turtles owed me one. So, well, I found him, the elusive Sandhills turtle, box turtle. Got to get him out of the road here. Here, got him off to the side of the road, and he's ready to travel. On the second turtle video, I was sitting down in Bennett Springs State Park at our gathering down there, and here comes up onto my pad This little turtle with a long neck looking around. We got a visitor at the campsite. He's on the move now. He's trucking. Catch you on the other side. He's headed back to the forest. I'm scaring him a little bit. He's moving right out. We'll have to get him identified. Came up by my tow vehicle, and then when I went over to video him, he got a little spooked and headed back into the trees. And I think the turtle is my spirit animal now. I think he was coming to warn me, because I saved this buddy, that he was going to warn me not to get on my e-bike that day, but I didn't heed the warning. So that's about it for the turtle stories. And now the old man story. People ask me from time to time, or make a comment, what about the hat I always wear? I always wear my B-52 hat. And people ask me, well, were you in a B-52 flight crew, or what was the significance of the hat? And I wasn't in a B-52 flight crew, but I did work on B-52s at Kadena Air Base in Okinawa, and Utapao Air Base in Thailand, and Fairchild Air Force Base in Washington. We were AMS. We did nav-aids radar on B-52s, KC-135s, but that didn't have anything to do with me having the hat. The hat came from back in the day. The Thai were very nice, friendly, respectful people, and they'd always ask you what your surname was. So I would tell them that my surname was Biha, and they'd go Biha Sipsan B-52, and just inevitably, anytime somebody heard my surname over there, it came up B-52. So then, fast forward about 50 years later, my sons went to Thailand and checked out the elephants in the or Monkey Mountain, I guess it is. And if people would ask them what their surname was, they'd say Biha, and still after 50 years they'd say Biha Sipsan, B-52. So with this in mind, when I went to get my ride in the Stearman over in Lincoln with the Commemorative Air Force, I saw they had these hats for sale, and I remembered that my nickname was B-52, so I got myself the hat. I got the little Stearman plane emblem to as a reminder of my ride, and then when I went to the SAC Museum, I got the SAC medallion that I put on my hat. That's the significance of the hat, and the medallion's on the side. So in closing, I'd like you to send all your prayers and best wishes to Holly, and Walter too, because Holly's not going to be able to do any work, can't lift over 5 pounds, and can't bend or stoop, and I know how that is. I miss my left arm every day, so I'm starting physical therapy Thursday, and should be back in shape for my Michigan trip when that takes place, but that'll probably be the first major trip that I take. So till then, we'll be working on improvements to the trailer and other odds and ends. I might do a video vlog on Wednesdays, old man stories, and the ER doctors looked at my x-rays and they said this guy must have 9 lives, because I had a steel plate in my wrist, a racing injury, and then the plate that they just put in my shoulder, and other odds and ends, broken bones. And so my daughter was there in the ER, and she said, "That's my dad." So thanks for watching. Hope you all like and subscribe, and come back again. Thank you.